through rooms where my name was unknown, doors shaped by hands that never felt my prayers. They weighed my worth on borrowed credentials, but heaven was counting every silent tear. I had no voice in the careful decisions, no seat at tables where futures were signed. Yet something louder than every objection was moving through corridors of time. You stood where I could not stand. You spoke where I had no command. And mercy became my defense. Favor speaks for me when I am not in the room. Grace writes my story beyond what they assume. When voices rise against me, heaven agrees. Favor speaks for me, and the verdict is peace. Favor speaks for me when I have no reply. God testifies louder than the loudest lie. I stand in the echo of your decree. Favor speaks for me. Joseph stood forgotten in prison seasons, yet favor whispered his name in royal halls. Esther trembled before unspoken judgments, but grace rewrote the laws that held her small. David was chosen in fields of obscurity, while crowns were crafted for taller men. You taught me favor is heaven's signature on stories earth refuses to comprehend. You stood where I could not stand. You spoke where I had no command, and mercy became my defense. Faith speaks for me when I am not in the room. Grace writes my story on what they assume. When voices rise against me, heaven agrees. Favor speaks for me, and the verdict is peace. Faith speaks for me when I have no reply. I'll testify louder than the loudest lie. I stand in the echo of your decree. Favor speaks for me. There were nights I rehearsed my defense, practiced words I thought might set me free. But you taught me silence can still be powerful when favor is speaking endlessly. So I laid down every anxious explanation and rested it in a courtroom ruled by grace. For when God stands as my advocate, no accusation can erase my place. You stood where I could not stand. You spoke where I had no command, and mercy became my defense. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. My cup overflows, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy follow me. You crown me with love and kindness. You surround me with songs of deliverance. Where they said no, you wrote yes. Where they doubted, you blessed. Favor speaks, yeah. Favor speaks. Favor speaks. Favor speaks. Favor speaks. Favor speaks. Favor speaks for me when I am not in the room. Grace writes my story beyond what they assume. When voices rise against me, heaven agrees. Heaven agrees. but by whispers of eternal kindness, where favor called my name. I walked through rooms where my name was unknown, doors shaped by hands that never felt my prayers. They weighed my worth on borrowed credentials, but heaven was counting every silent tear. I had no voice in the careful decisions, no seat at tables where futures were signed. Yet something louder than every objection was moving through corridors of time. You stood where I could not stand. You spoke where I had no command. Mercy became my defense. Favor speaks for me when I am not in the room. Grace writes my story beyond what they assume. When voices rise against me, heaven agrees. Favor speaks for me, and the verdict is peace. Favor speaks for me when I have no reply. God testifies louder than the loudest lie. I stand in the echo of your decree. Favor speaks for me. Joseph stood forgotten in prison seasons, yet favor whispered his name in royal halls. Esther trembled before unspoken judgments, but grace rewrote the laws that held her small. David was chosen in fields of obscurity, while crowns were crafted for taller men. You taught me favor is heaven's signature on stories earth refuses to comprehend. You stood where I could not stand. You spoke where I had no command, and mercy became my defense. Faith speaks for me when I am not in the room. Grace writes my story on what they assume. When voices rise against me, heaven agrees. Favor speaks for me, and the verdict is peace. Faith speaks for me when I have no reply. I'll testify louder than the loudest lie. I stand in the echo of your decree. Favor speaks for me. There were nights I rehearsed my defense, practiced words I thought might set me free. But you taught me silence can still be powerful when favor is speaking endlessly. So I laid down every anxious explanation and rested it in a courtroom ruled by grace. For when God stands as my advocate, no accusation can erase my place. You stood where I could not stand. You spoke where I had no command, and mercy became my defense. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. My cup overflows, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy follow me. You crown me with love and kindness. You surround me with songs of deliverance. Where they said no, you wrote yes. Where they doubted, you blessed. Favor speaks, yeah. Favor speaks. Favor speaks. Favor speaks. Favor Grace writes my story beyond what they assume. When voices rise against me, heaven agrees. Heaven agrees. When I have no reply, love testifies louder than the loudest lie. I stand in the echo of your decree. Favor speaks for me. You speak for me. You speak for me. You speak for me. You speak for me. Favor is speaking for me. So I walk through doors I never imagined. Not by merit, not by fame, but by whispers of eternal kindness, where favor calls.